Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here with me today. In today's video, we're going to learn how to master polite requests using could and would. This is a really cool topic because polite language is so important in English communication. If you want to sound more polite or formal in English, could and would are key words to use. Let's start with a quick overview of how to use could and would in requests. Could is often used when asking someone to do something, like a favor. For example, could you help me with my homework? This is a polite way to ask for help. Would is similar, but it often shows even more politeness and willingness from the other person. For example, would you open the window, please? This is also a polite request. Notice how both could and would make the request sound softer and more respectful. Let's start with could. You can use could to ask for help, like, could you pass me the salt? This is a polite way to make a request, and it doesn't sound too demanding. Another example is, could you lend me your book for a day? It's respectful and kind. When you use could, you're giving the other person the option to say yes or no politely. You might also ask, could you close the door? Again, it's soft and polite. It's much nicer than just saying, close the door, right? If you're in a restaurant, you could say, could I have the menu, please? A polite request. It's important to remember that could can also be used to offer help politely. For example, could I help you carry those bags? It shows that you are willing to help. Or, could I do something for you? It's a way to show you're ready to assist. Now, let's move on to would. Would is often used to show willingness or politeness. For example, would you like some tea? It's a very polite offer. You can also say, would you mind helping me? This is a common polite request. Using would softens your request and makes it more respectful, like, would you join me for dinner? Another example is, would you please send me the report? It sounds much nicer than just demanding it. Would can also be used to politely ask for permission. For example, would it be all right if I leave early? Or, would you mind if I sit here? It's a great way to ask without sounding pushy. Let's compare. Could you help me with this project? Versus would you help me with this project? Both are polite, but would sounds even more considerate and soft. Another useful phrase is, would you mind? It's a very polite way to request something. For example, would you mind closing the window? It sounds gentle and respectful. You can also say, would you mind lending me a pen? It's polite and doesn't sound like a command. So, if you want to ask someone for something in a polite way, try using would or could. Both words show respect for the other person's time and willingness to help. Now, let's go over a few more examples. Could you please take a look at this report? Or, would you like to come to the meeting tomorrow? This sounds polite and inviting. If you're not sure if someone is willing, you can say, would you be willing to help me with this task? And if you want to make a very polite offer, you can say, would you like some coffee? Let's practice together. You can write in the comments below with your own examples. If you have any questions, you can comment, and I'll be happy to help you with your requests. Here's another great example. Would you kindly explain this to me? It's a very polite request for information. And, could you please let me know when the meeting starts? Another respectful way to ask for info. Could and would are such useful words for polite conversation. You'll sound so much more comfortable using them. Speaking of polite requests, let me ask you something. Would you leave a like if you enjoyed the video? And don't forget to subscribe for more English lessons like this. Your support really means a lot. Now, back to could and would. Another example, could you tell me how to get to the park? It's a polite way to ask for directions, much better than saying, tell me how to get there. Here's a business example, would you send me the invoice by tomorrow? It's professional and polite. Or, could you please schedule the meeting for next week? This sounds much more respectful. Imagine you're in a store. You could say, could you help me find the right size? Very polite and customer-friendly. Or, would you be able to show me where this product is? Another nice way to ask for assistance. It's important to practice polite language because it helps you build good relationships in English. Here's another great example, would you be so kind as to forward this email? It sounds very courteous. And you could say, could you check this document for errors, please? It's polite and professional. I hope these examples are helpful. Politeness is key to mastering English. Let's move on to some polite refusals using could and would. I'm sorry, but I could not attend the meeting. Or, I'm afraid I couldn't help you with that today. It's a polite way to refuse, without sounding harsh. You can also use would in polite refusals, like, I'm sorry, I would prefer not to do that. It shows respect and kindness even when you can't do something. Remember, when you ask for something using could or would, you're showing respect and kindness. Politeness helps build trust and good communication, especially in English. Now, another way to practice is to try making your own sentences with could and would. For example, try this, could you send me the updated document? Or would you call me tomorrow? The more you practice, the more natural polite requests will feel in your conversations. Polite language also makes you sound more professional and considerate in everyday life. Another example, could you tell me when the next class starts? It's polite and clear. Or, would you mind giving me directions to the nearest cafe? A perfect request. I hope you've enjoyed these examples. Don't forget to practice using could and would. And of course, could you subscribe to my channel? I would really appreciate it. Remember, being polite in English is a wonderful way to build strong relationships. Hopefully, this should be an interesting video for you, and I hope you're learning something new. So, let's recap. Use could and would to make polite requests, ask for permission, and offer help. You could say, could you pass me the book? Or would you like to join us for lunch? If you practice, you'll truly become fluent in English, mastering polite requests easily. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And would you kindly subscribe to my channel? There's so much more to learn. Until next time, keep practicing polite requests, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.